Hey everybody, Riley here from the Awesome Players. Today we're going to be installing the Moto Overland side stand enlarger, which is pretty simple. It's just a piece of machined aluminum that makes your side stand foot bigger so you don't sink into soft ground. Well, here you see the packaging, and this is what you get. You get a CNC machined aluminum plate that is anodized black, and these two special disc lock washer equipped screws so that they won't come loose. So basically all we're going to do is take these two screws out, stick it on the side stand and tighten them up. So you're going to need a 4mm hex or Allen key to take the screws out and also to tighten them. Now when you take the screw out, you're going to see you have the screw, and it has two of these special washers. Now when you put the washers on, the part with these little ridges, they have to face each other. And that then goes on the bolt. And those little ridges will lock together, and that's what will keep it from loosening. Now as you can see here, my poor old side stand has taken quite a beating, and I have some holes I drilled in it when I made a homemade side stand enlarger. Now you look at this baby, it is just beautifully machined, weighs practically nothing, and it's specially designed so that the way it goes on, when the side stand is tucked up, only this little lip is hanging down so it doesn't snag on stuff. I've had other side stand protectors where, you know, it goes on more like this, and then the problem is, as you can see by all these abrasions, this is frequently rubbing on rocks and stuff, and if you have a big lip hanging down on this side, this will catch, and I actually destroyed a couple of other ones. This is the third, this is actually the third company's side stand enlarger I've had. Two of them got destroyed, and then I made my own out of a piece of cutting board, and now I really like this MOD one. Now putting this on is pretty simple. It only fits on one way. You just put it in place and put the screws in. Now the directions do mention that I could put some thread locker on here, and given my history of losing things, I think I will. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue on here. There we go. Put a little on the second one. Oops. There we go. Put in the screws. And then once that's in, tighten her up. And voila! Now if you had some play in here, the directions do mention you could shim this with some electrical tape or something underneath just so that it's not loose and rattling. And once this folds up, you'll notice that you've got plenty of clearance in here between the side stand foot and the swing arm, and like I mentioned before, there's not much hanging down here. So you can see there's no paint left on this from it, you know, rubbing on stuff, and when you go over rocks frequently this is rubbing on the surface of the rock. So you don't have a lot of lip here to grab. All the extra surface is on the top area here where it's kind of out of the way and it's protected. And it's made by our good friends at Moto Overland, and I also have their rear luggage rack, which is awesome, and plenty of places to strap stuff down. It also has the mounting points if you want to install a GV or somebody else's box, and by loosening this screw you can see you've got a couple of different mounting spots, so you can slide the rack forward and backwards, and if you want to you can just slide it to this middle position and lift the rack off. The other thing the rack has, which I really like, is it has these pre-drilled holes so you can attach the mounting system for a Rotopax jerry can. And that's you know, an easy way of extending the range on a bike without spending big money on an aftermarket tank. You just put the Rotopax mounting system here and slap on a Rotopax. The Rotopax is flat, so you can still strap stuff to the top of the Rotopax. I also have their skid plate and toolbox, and originally I had the aftermarket kind of BMW plate, the aluminum one made by Touratech, and that got destroyed with one big rock hit. This one has taken a ton of punishment, and I really like the toolbox. It keeps, you know, the weight down low, and in here I keep all of my tire changing equipment. And so I strongly suggest checking out the guys at MotoOverland.com. They're really nice guys. All the stuff is made in Canada. And if you ever have a question about their stuff, every time I've ever sent them an email, they've responded super quick. Now, full disclosure time, I had been sent a prototype of one of these Sidestand foot enlargers when they first came out a year or two ago. And it was not anodized, and it wasn't quite as well finished as the one I'm installing today. And I did manage to lose it by not tightening the fasteners enough. So I certainly agree with what it says in the directions. Tighten them down really tight, and if you have some thread locker around, put some Loctite on them. So that's it for this install. Great product, great guys at Moto Overland, and you know, I went on one ride without this season, and I forgot what a pain in the butt it is that every time you're on a trail, if the ground isn't rock hard, the footprint of the stock side stand is so small, you can basically only use it on pavement, because anywhere else the bike just starts to sink in. So every time we stopped on this ride last weekend, I had to find a rock or a branch or something to shove under the side stand. So when I got back from that ride, the first thing I did was jump on the web and order a new one.